the girlies are at it again. So, I have been seeing just so much drama, chaos, fighting with the girls online. Even in real life, I've been seeing some things, and
you guys are so interesting.
like I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, this is getting out of hand. So, I'm talking about the whole girls who are like obsessed with their man versus the girls who are all about decentering men. And I'm just looking like, I don't really care what you guys do. Like, if you want to make men like the center of your world,
that's fine.
But honestly, I don't know why you would, because like there really does need to be a study done on people who make, whether they're in a relationship or not, like their whole personality. And that's what I notice about like a lot of girls. Like, oh my god, even just like recently I was talking to somebody and she was just like, we were talking about if you are like, if you have like an addictive personality. It was so stupid, but basically I was like, oh, like we were talking about people and we were saying that we don't really get addicted to people. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like for me, I'm a very like friend oriented person, so I don't really get tired of my friends because I got some cool ass friends. And she was like,
oh, me, like my man.
and I was like, really? Why? And she was like,
I don't know, like it's just something, like even though they piss me off all the time, like I'm addicted to like my man.
And I was like, look at her, just like, so you're one of those. She's one of those. And I mean, it just kind of weirds me out because a lot of times those people just like, really what it comes down to is like, you guys need a hobby and you guys need to make actually like good friends, because I kind of doubt that this whole decentering men thing would be like going on. I mean, I don't really know if it's still going on. It was just like a little time period, but I don't really know if it would be such a big deal if people just had better relationships in their life, whether it's like with their friends or like a man. I feel like I've said the word man so many times already and I like already hate that word. So that's kind of like my little 2 cents. But basically, I notice another thing about girls who make their partners the whole center of their world is that they still get mad at them when they keep their friends and then they're playing their video games and they still have their hobbies and they're just like, just pay attention to me. And it's like, but girl, like, don't you want a place to go or like things to do when the relationship is kind of just, you know when you just yeah, I mean, I think we kind of all get there. And for me, like, if I get to that point where I want to strangle you, the last thing that I want to do is to stay around you, because I'm just going to want to strangle you even more. And this is why I think like a lot of people, like, they end up breaking up and it's like this like whole big dramatic thing and you guys like end up
not being able to even stand each other
because you guys have not given each other any space. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it happen so many times, and I've seen so many people that I know who were like
the coolest people, like
strong people. And actually, like, I'm not even just talking about girls, like I'm even kind of talking about
dudes too,
because I don't really think that they're completely immune to this. I think that like the girly girls are just a little bit more likely to fall into this, and I get it because so many other girls are also like this, so it's kind of hard to not become like that yourself, if that even makes sense. But like, I noticed that a lot of people, like, once they get with somebody, they change. And honestly,
not for the better.
And I really wish that I could say that I'm like looking at them and I'm like, okay, yeah, like I love what this relationship has done for you. Like, you've become such a better person. Like, you've become so much more mature, so much smart, so much. But like a lot of times it's like,
not the case.
It's like they become this really dim version of themselves, and not only a dim version of themselves, but it's like they're trying to become their partner. Ugh. It makes me so mad. I'm just like, girl,
I'm friends with you, not your partner. So why are you being so different now?
And it does make it harder. That's for sure. So if you guys want to stop doing that and irritating your friends, because like it does get irritating, especially like when all you talk about is them. It's like, bro, find something else going on in your life, get some shit together, make some friends. If you don't have friends now, make some friends. Like, put yourself out there, go do something, get some hobbies. That's another, it's like, oh my god, people make it their entire personality. They're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship, it's like, get some hobbies and just stop thinking so hard about relationships, because a lot of times people also like don't realize like how much you talk about wanting to stop making men the center of your world. Is like, you realize you're kind of still making them the center of your world by like sitting here and just like screaming on TikTok about how you don't want to center men anymore. It's like, okay,
Then stop doing it.
so you obviously enjoy something. Like you picked up the phone and you decided to film some content. Why don't, like, I just feel like people are so creative when they're not so busy worrying about things that they don't have.
All the control in the world over.
Like, you don't have all the control over when that that right person is gonna come into your life. So for the time being, just do you. What makes you happy? I was actually talking to my sister about this when she got out of a relationship, and she was talking about how like,
Wow, like I feel like so much better now, and I feel like I'm focusing so much more on like my artistic pursuits than I was like in my relationship.
and in my head I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, I noticed that too. Like, I noticed that like you're so much more driven and focused, and you're so much more like, how can I elevate myself? So
Enjoy the single life.
it's really fun. It's a good time here. I mean, I'm thriving. I love it. Like, I love not having to constantly worry about somebody else. I like the feeling of like not having to constantly like check in and make sure that like this person's not like pissed off at something that I did. It's like, that part gets overlooked a lot. People would rather be in miserable relationships than happily single. I'm saying it. I know. People would rather settle than be happily single, and a lot of people like to
Deny.
and I'm like, no. Like, I can't unsee how many people would rather settle, and it's kind of scary. For me, like, I've always been that type of person who just wants to put myself first, and whoever comes into my life, it's like, how are you going to fit into what I have going on? Because I'm not going to dismantle all my plans for you. And I think that's
just me. That's a personal thing.
but like, I kind of feel like that's a good thing, because when things don't work out for me, I'm not like left like devastated, like,
Well, what do I do now?
I'm never left wondering what's next, because I didn't make them the center. I didn't dismantle my plans because I was trying to work everything around them, and then when that didn't work, I didn't know what else to do. And that's like such a sad mistake, because I have seen way too many people lost to that battle, and it's really hard to see. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like the main thing of it. Oh yeah, and then another thing, I actually just thought about this, is I wish people would give their friends the same energy that they do to romantic partners. It's just me, I feel like people let so much shit slide when it's a romantic partner, but when it's like a friend partner, it's like, oh.
You get cut off just for blinking or breathing the wrong way.
And it's so sad to me, because it'll be like, that's a friend that you've had for like
Years.
and then this romantic person is like somebody that just came into your life like 2 weeks ago, and you just be like overlooking red flags left and right. But when it's your friend that just a little this thing, you're like, oh. And I don't feel like a lot of guys do that to like themselves and their friends. So I think that we need to take a page out of their book, and we need to get like them. and we need to, you know, have our own lives and have our own things going on. And that is actually like how you find that personal fulfillment in your life, instead of just thinking it all rests on this one person. It's all in this person's hand, because also that's not even fair to them.
Nikki, you can't put that pressure on them.
And you can't demand your partner to stop hanging out with their friends or to stop having their hobbies just because you chose to give yours up. Because when that relationship ends and then you don't got no friends to turn back to and you don't even know what kind of hobbies you even were good at anymore, whose fault is that?
It's your fault.
I'm kind of irritated about this because I've just seen it happen too many times, and I've lost so many friends to this exact thing. I've lost so many friends because they were just, a lack for better words, digmatized.
Whatever the man said, you know?
It's kind of sad. And like again, it's not even just girls that do it. I know guys do it too. I have a guy friend and he was all like,
Oh, I know when I get in a serious relationship, you're never gonna see me.
I'm like, okay, all right then. So obviously, like, we're just not really like that. And it is what it is. If that's the type of person you are, if you're aware of it and you're cool with it and you're fine not having friends and you're fine kind of constantly being at risk for losing your best friend because you made it your romantic person that you're involved with, I mean, that's your prerogative, but I say
Don't do that.
just live life for you and put yourself first. Get some hobbies and get some friends, because those things don't fail you nearly as frequently as romance does. And I'm a huge romantic. Like, I'm such a romantic, but like, we gotta stop being delulu at some point. And I think that the delulu ship for me sailed a long time ago. It really did. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my rant. Yeah, I know this was kind of ranty.
Sorry.
Yeah, I kind of just like was feeling that way for a minute, and it just
Riles me up.
so yeah, anyways, good night.